happening, everyone?
What's happening, guys?
It is time for Whiskey of the Year.
Whiskey of the Year. About a month into the new year.
Yeah, and that's all good. And
all good. That's how we do it.
Yeah, we a lot of whiskeys came out towards the end of the year too, and then some 2020 releases did come out in 2021.
Yeah, it was kind of like a late year heavy situation.
Yeah. So the way we're gonna do Whiskey of the Year is the same way we did it last year. We're gonna do our top 5, and we definitely don't do our 5 favorite whiskeys we've had this year. What we do is top 5 value. It's a little tricky because we want it to be regular available releases, but we just couldn't come out with the top 5 regular available release list. So we kind of included whatever we got this year. It had to have been released in 2020 for it to count. But if it was kind of an exclusive, limited release, even if it was an independent bottler, we kind of decided to include it. It was really the only way we could have come up with a top 5 that we were comfortable with.
Right.
I do also want to add one more thing. There are whiskeys that we have not tried yet that were released in 2021. Just a few to come up in mind. The Springbank 21-year-old we haven't tried. They're recent. Sure. The Hazelburn 13 recently came out. We haven't tried.
The Madeira, the Long Road 21.
Yeah, so there were definitely releases in 2020. We didn't try everything, but we tried enough, but not as much.
It shows you that those are getting less available.
Yeah, well,
because every year we would get those.
Well, we are going to try them soon. We just haven't tried them yet.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't tried them yet.
But this year it was like going online when it came out, like 2-second chance to get it.
Yeah, so we will try them soon, but just want to add that we haven't tried everything, so just to be fair. But again, we factor in value, so just keep in mind that we might score, let's say whatever we rate number 1 could be an 86 out of 100, but maybe it was $20, and that would have been easily an amazing value.
Yeah, so very value weighted. Exactly.
Yes. So keep that in mind. These are not the 5 best whiskeys, not even close to the 5 best whiskeys, but we factor in value here. Without further ado, number 5 is the 2020 release of the Christmas Malt from the Whiskey Exchange. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Whiskey Exchange. The Whiskey Exchange does ship to most places.
Yes.
I know
it's fairly available.
It's from the UK, so we always fear the 25% tariff, but this is a blended malt, so there was no tariff on this one. Mm-hmm. And this was about $80. It's a 19-year-old blended malt. Yep. Every year.
It's awesome.
We want to highlight this because every year they do have a Christmas malt. And it literally tastes like Christmas. Is that what you're drinking right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It literally tastes like Christmas in a glass. It is very tasty. And it's not wow. It doesn't wow you in any way. It's just a very delicious. It's very creamy. It's very smooth. It's very tasty. It's rich, flavored with all those kind of Christmas flavors. And for me, the way I like to enjoy this is you wake up Christmas, you're opening up presents with the family, and whoever's in the room that enjoys scotch, bourbon, whiskey, anything, right? Anyone who enjoys a nice quality spirit, you're drinking this. It's easy drinking. You don't have to overanalyze it. And it literally is the perfect Christmas malt.
Just like it says, it's about good cheer and warm smiles.
There you go.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
Yeah.
And it smells like.
Number 5, look, this is, by the way, still available on the Whiskey Exchange if you wanted to try it or if you wanted to buy it for next year.
I'm going to get a couple.
But next year, there will be a 2021 release. And for around $80 to $85.
Check it out. Stay tuned,
It's, in my opinion, a value buy. 19 years old, bottled at 44.5% ABV.
Big time.
Delicious. Nothing wow, but delicious.
Gorgeous.
At number 4.
Number 4.
Old Carter, baby.
Boom.
Old Carter Bourbon Batch 5.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the best old Carters we've had
Yes.
so far.
Yes.
We've reviewed only one so far, which was batch 3.
Yes.
This is batch 5. Those are our 2 favorite batches.
By far.
And this is just really, really good quality bourbon, extremely tasty. In California, it retailed anywhere from $180 to $200. So I know I was lucky enough to get it for $180. You had to pay a little bit more. You had to go all the way to $300. So factor that in. We meet somewhere there in the middle. We are comfortable paying up to $300 for this.
Yes.
It is that tasty, but at $180, it certainly is a very good buy. And it's just really, really delicious. If you're familiar with Whiskey Tube, then other people have been raving about this as well.
Their Bourbon of the Year. Yeah.
So a lot of people enjoy this, and we did as well, and it really, really stood out. So number 4 on our list this year in 2020, Old Carter Bourbon Batch 5.
Boom. It's up there. Perfect bourbon.
Yeah. Number 3.
3. Oh.
Black Friday. Last year we had this in our top 5, the 2019
Yep.
release. This is
Repeat candidate.
2020 release. It's a 22-year-old. What is it?
Ardmore.
Ardmore, that's right. A 22-year-old Ardmore bottled at 50.5% ABV. This went for around $120, something like that.
Yeah.
You're getting 22 years old. You're getting cask strength. You're getting something from a unique experience from a distillery you don't normally get bottles from. If you're familiar with the Black Friday bottling, again, it's a whiskey exchange bottling, just like we had here. I assure you, we don't work for the whiskey exchange. I assure you, they don't pay us to say this, but their picks tend to be
doing, man. Yeah.
very, very good.
Yeah.
And when they do a pick, it's value. This video is about highlighting bottles that are fairly priced, and this is absolutely fairly priced. You're going to get this for around $110.
Absolutely.
You're getting a really good quality experience, a unique experience, something you don't get every day. The Black Friday bottlings do deliver. I preferred the 2019. I know you did as well.
Yes.
But this is still a very good buy.
Very must. Black Friday's a must. Whiskey exchange.
At number 2.
Numero dos. Busted.
We have a 20-year-old Macallan
Boom.
by Gordon and MacPhail, Spey Malt. This is a cask strength 20-year-old Macallan.
Beast.
I mean, this
Beast.
was truly a treat. $300. But if this was released by Macallan, it would, look at the exceptional casks, for example.
1,500? 2,000?
I've had exceptional casks that were not as good as this.
No.
Yeah.
Several.
Yeah.
No.
So this was truly amazing. Now, this was bottled by K&L here in California.
Yes.
Unfair, I understand. Not available, completely sold out. So why do we put something like this in? One, we felt like we needed to talk about it because it was really delicious. 2, these are coming out. There has been a few U.S. releases now. 3 that I know of. I've seen one in the UK. They sell out fast. My feeling is many more are coming.
Yeah.
I really do think
quick.
18, 19, 20-year-old
It's a
cask
theme.
strength
Yeah.
Gordon and MacPhail bottlings of Macallan are coming. So you might say, why are you putting this on your list? There was only 218 bottles of this cask. It sold out right away, but keep your eyes open. I assure you more are coming, whether you're in Europe or you're in the States. Mm-hmm. This is something that's coming, and they're value buys. These are
Regardless,
good
they're
quality,
you can trust
rich,
them,
rich sherried Macallan experience at cask strength with good age. Can't go wrong. You're not going to beat this. I mean, this is $300. Priced the same as the current Macallan 18, and this blows it. This blows it out of the water.
Yeah. Keep an eye out. Gordon MacPhail.
Without further ado, number 1. I know I have it in my glass, but I'm gonna have a sip of it right before.
Little explanation to come too.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, 2020. Shitty year, but a phenomenal result.
The very own Saint Nick, 17-year-old.
Boom.
This right here. Well, this is which
say
batch
lot-
number 4.
Lot number 4. Yeah.
Lot number 4.
That's the key.
This is cask strength.
Mm.
Stitzel-Weller juice from the 80s that they put aside and they held to bottle later on. Look at the color on this thing. 17-year-old cask strength Stitzel-Weller. It's a half bottle. It retailed at $600. So you say, how the hell is that value in any sort?
What the fuck are you guys thinking, right?
Yeah. So the explanation here is, it doesn't say that it's Stitzel-Weller juice, but it is. Okay, if you talk to anybody at the distillery, they will explain to you that it's Stitzel-Weller juice that they've been holding on the side to bottle for later. Okay, and it's not just a random rumor or a random story. And if you taste it, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. So, cask strength Stitzel-Weller really is not available very often, right? You don't even see it in the old school days very often. So if Stitzel-Weller, let's say the bottle came out and it said Stitzel-Weller, 17 years old, cask strength, and it came out today, okay? It would be retailing at $5,000 to $6,000.
A cask strength Pappy 17 decanter.
Yeah. It would literally retail at around.
Well, here, let me ask you.
Yeah.
The last drop, Buffalo Trace, 1980.
Retailing at $5K.
Just dropped.
$5K, right? You
Right.
can't find it.
Same exact thing.
Yes.
They steal that in it.
Yes.
And the master blenders are claiming that even though it's not aged in wood 40 years, to them it's still been, quote, aging 40 years. This is not owned by Buffalo Trace, owned by a preservation distillery.
Yes.
So they can't say that
Correct.
or claim that.
Correct.
But imagine if they could.
Yes.
And this is cask strength.
Cask strength, 17-year-old, Stitzel-Weller, half bottle, retails at $600. These were actually, like, they didn't sell out in seconds. They were available for a little bit. And they're still
Took a
coming
while.
out.
Yeah.
They're still coming out. I know this was the Lost Barrel, the Unicorn Barrel.
Unicorn, yeah.
The Unicorn one is only available at the distillery, and we'll see what ends up keep coming out. I have a feeling they're going to keep releasing some more of these.
Yeah.
But the value here is not necessarily. First of all, we've done a review of this. Go check it out if you have it. It's amazing juice. The juice alone
Disgusting.
is amazing. But the extreme value here is you get to own a piece of history.
Yes.
So that's where the value comes in. I view this as if this was bottled by Stitzel-Weller with the label on it, it's a $5,000-$6,000 bottle. But because it's not, it's a half bottle at $600. But that's where the value comes in for me. It's getting to own a piece of this, getting to taste this, and get to know it, and that to me makes it very, very special, and it actually makes it a great value because there is no cask strength Stitzel-Weller. I mean,
Ever.
I there probably is, but I'm saying Stitzel-Weller wouldn't really release cask strength. They would release up to 50% usually.
Right. When even in our review we talked about, we haven't tried all of the old Fitzgerald 40s and 50s vintages. But even if we had, those were all 100 proof. None of them are bottled at cask strength. And obviously, we're going to try those, but as far as I know, there hasn't been a major cask strength release. Or just take, like I said, take the Buffalo Trace 1980 last drop, make it cask strength. How much would that be?
Factor in that this is some of the very best, tastiest bourbon.
And yeah,
I've
bottom
had.
line, how does it taste? Exactly.
Yeah. So factor that in.
It's different. It's different.
Combine all of that, it actually becomes a value buy.
It does. 100%.
It actually becomes a value buy, and I think the more this gets talked about later on, you're going to see some of the closed ones of this at auctions go for several $1,000s.
To me, don't tell anybody, we're early on in the process.
Yeah, because
it's still a secret.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why this is the whiskey of the year. We are mainly Scotch guys. We are big time Scotch guys. So for us to come out and say that this bourbon is number one, but it is. It was the most wowed I was. Did I try whiskeys in 2020 that I scored 95, 96? Yes. I believe I scored this one around a 92 in our review.
Right.
92 and a half, I said, actually. But incredible stuff. And just really, really fun to drink. Just really, really, really fun to drink and to experience. And I highly recommend trying this if you can get your hands on a bottle.
Exactly.
But you have to like oaky. If it is oaky,
true,
it's very oak rich.
Aged, oaky,
Yes.
different than you're like young, can't
Yes.
bourbon.
If you don't like oaky bourbons,
True.
you're not gonna like this. If you
True.
think Pappy 23 is too oaky, you will not like this.
Right,
This
and
is
we
oakier
said in
than
the
that.
review, it's a bourbon for Scotch drinkers.
Yeah, or a bourbon drinker, but I mean,
No, of course,
yeah.
but like Scotch drinkers that aren't bourbon forward,
Yeah, this is unique
for them.
Yeah,
exactly.
very complex, very unique. Anyways, there you have it. That's our top 5 for 2020. I'm sorry, we pride ourselves in trying almost everything. We didn't really get to try everything in 2020, but from what we tried and what we have full bottles of,
Yes.
that's our list. Let us know what you think. If you've tried these, let us know your thoughts on them. In terms of reviews, we have a review of this. And so far, that's about it. We don't have a review of the other stuff.
Everything else is coming.
Yeah, everything else is coming. So we'll see you guys soon for many more. Cheers.
Cheers.